In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. All praise is due to Allah the Almighty, the Lord of the worlds. And may Allah's peace, mercy, and the blessings be upon His final and last messenger, Muhammad. The question now is, at what age exactly does it become obligatory on the Muslim, i.e. at what age exactly do they have to start fasting? As we know, the fasting of the month of Ramadan is one of the pillars of Islam, as the Prophet, peace be upon him, clarified in one of his teachings that Islam has been built up on 5 pillars. And he, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, mentioned fasting as one of these pillars. And also, it is proven by the Quran and also the consensus of the Muslim scholars. So it is one of the pillars of Islam and one of the obligatory things to fast and to observe the fasting of the months of Ramadan. So as we know, there are conditions that when they are fulfilled, it becomes a responsibility for the person who meets these conditions to observe the fasting of the months of Ramadan. That's to be a Muslim and also to be sane or of sound mind, and also to reach the age of puberty.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون.
In the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Compassionate. O you who believe, fasting is ordained for you as it was ordained for those before you, that you may be pious.
Reaching the age of puberty has signs that indicate and signify that this person has reached the age of puberty. And these signs are primarily physical ones, depending on the gender of the young person. So for males, for boys, the age of puberty can be signified and indicated by some of the physical appearances. For example, the growing of the hair in the pubic part. So this is an indication that this young man now has reached the age of puberty. And also, when for young women, when they start having or experiencing the monthly period, this is also indicative of them reaching the age of puberty. Another thing that also the Muslim scholars cited and mentioned as an indication for the person to have reached the age of puberty is by turning 15. So when the young person reaches the age of 15, this means now that they are mature and also they are responsible for observing the fasting of the month of Ramadan. So we have these physical characteristics, as we said, for the males when they start to have the pubic hair, and this is for both males and females, and also for males when they start experiencing wet dreams. This is also indicative of reaching the age of puberty, as the scholars of Islamic Sharia and the scholars of Islamic jurisprudence mentioned in the books of fiqh, depending on the sources of Islam. And the other thing, when they reach the age of 15. So when one of these is fulfilled or met, then this means that now they have to start fasting. Here we have other related questions that are very relevant to the question that we are discussing now. What if the person didn't know the time that they have reached puberty and they missed fasting for a number of years or any time? In this case, they have to calculate from reaching the age of 15 or from when they have reached puberty, and they need to make up for these missed days, because not knowing is not an excuse. And this is why we started by clarifying the rulings of the Islamic Sharia and the 5 categories, and also we highlighted the importance of seeking knowledge, and especially the minimum requirement that every Muslim needs to be aware of and to equip themselves with, because seeking knowledge in Islam is an obligation as well, especially when it comes to the Islamic creed and the jurisprudence of the 5 pillars of Islam. So in this case, this person who missed fasting, not knowing that they had to fast as they reach the age of puberty, they have to make up for these days. Along with that, they need to also give fidya, or an expiation, and that's just by feeding a needy person for each missed day. Another question that's also very relevant: what if this person doesn't know for sure this period that they missed? In this case, they can do their best to make the correct estimation, and inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will accept from them. That's by making up for these days, and also by providing the fidya, and that's by feeding a needy person for every day missed.